The Rural Fire Service is calling it the most serious bushfire emergency in years.
It began with an unusually warm winter and spring, continued on with drier than average conditions, was topped off with persistent westerly winds, and ended up when some of the worst bushfires in recent history raged through the Blue Mountains west of Sydney.
We're obviously very concerned about life, and we're very concerned about people's homes, and if we come out of this day without losing hundreds of homes, we'll be very lucky.
Fran Duffy is a botanist and plant collector, and her 5.5 hectare bush block in Dargan was hit hard by the fires.
About 3:30 in the afternoon, the policeman came and said, "You've got to get out, the fire's almost on your back door."
So what did you take with you?
The clothes I was wearing, my 2 dogs, my shopping purse and insurance stuff, which I grabbed on the way out the door.
And what did you find when you came back?
The house was still here, and so were the water tanks.
After the devastation caused by the fire, she set to work slowly getting things back into shape. Now, less than a year later, I'm keen to find out how she and her garden are recovering. What happened here?
Well, all these wooden sleepers that I had on the edge of the orchid house, they of course caught fire and burnt, along with the orchid house and the orchids.
Certainly seems to have burnt a lot of those plants right down to the soil level.
Yes.
This eucalyptus bounced back well, Fran.
Yes, the original, as you can see here, was quite a sizable little sapling, and it of course got burnt. But from the lignotuber, it's producing quite a lot of nice growth, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, an underground stem. There's quite a few species here that we're seeing that.
Oh, that's their adaptation to fire, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this one is the Eucalyptus deanel from down the blue gum forest, and it I have planted.
Yes, and the grass tree.
Well, originally, as you can see from the trunk, originally before the fire, that grass tree was a big, big spreading thing with dead leaves underneath. And the fire burnt all the dead leaves off and just left the black stump. And within a day or so, there was green growth coming out.
There are so many different ways that the native plants regenerate after a fire.
Yes, this way is the epicormic shoot way. The bark is thick and it insulates the trunk. And under the bark there are dormant shoots. And when all the other leaves have been burnt off, they sprout.
That's very characteristic of the eucalypts, but the wattles are entirely different, because down here we've got these seedlings. So the heat from the fire actually cracks open the seed coat, and then water comes and they germinate.
And breaks their dormancy.
But I noticed you've got some black wattle planted over there.
They sprout from the roots, sucker from the roots.
Banksia serrata. Now, there's a tough plant in a fire.
Oh, my word, yes. This one was burnt right to the ground, just the stump left, and now it's sprouted from its lignotuber.
Yeah. And they can also grow right from the trunk as well.
Yes, that one's not actually burnt. It was suffering from hot air damage. And so it's able to sprout from the epicormic shoots up the stalk.
Yeah, and I'm fascinated by how well your fernery really got through the fire.
Well, the tree ferns were all burnt just to little black stumps, you know, and within a couple of days there were new fronds curling up out of the middle of them.
How did you feel about the garden in terms of, am I able to get this going again after the fire?
Well, in some ways I thought, this is fine. Trees were over mature, the undergrowth was 6-8 feet high, and I've been trying to clear it out bit by bit, and it was just an impossible job. It cleared the whole thing out, cleansed it sort of, you know.
And what role does the fire play then in the bushland setting like this?
Rejuvenation, definitely.